Hey guys, welcome to Last Movie Standing. Today I want to talk about some hard truths about collecting physical media, especially with a lot of these new releases coming out on 4K, and how we don't get to pick. And where I'm getting at with this is rated versus unrated releases, director's cut versus theatrical cut. I feel like I don't know what the title of this video is going to be. I almost feel like this should be an in defense of theatrical cuts, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to contradict myself if I do that in this video. Let's start off with a few recent 4K announcements. The Devil's Rejects coming to 4K. Now we're getting it in a steelbook. I'm a little disappointed it's not in a box just like the House of a Thousand Corpses. Let me go get it. This nice kind of box, which is kind of a box we don't really see a lot of people do. It's like a book box, you know. I thought it would have been really cool to do something like this, but they didn't. That's okay. On this channel, we're about to start doing a lot of arts and crafts. I'm going to show you how to make one of these for Devil's Rejects when it comes out. But that's not here or there. The Devil's Rejects 4K coming out is just the theatrical version, to my knowledge. It does come with the Blu-ray. There's no confirmation. It is the unrated cut on Blu-ray. Which, here's the thing. I own the DVD. And the DVD does come with, I believe the DVD comes with the documentary. The 30 Days in Hell documentary. That comes with this 4K. Which skipped the Blu-ray. You know, so if you didn't have the DVD and you just bought the Blu-ray, you probably have never seen this really awesome documentary about the making. I think it's called 30 Days in Hell. But it came with the DVD. So the Blu-ray is unrated only. This 4K is not. And a lot of people are complaining about that. Where's my stance on it? I'm not going to judge you here or there. I totally get it. Because I'm going to show points of things that I really like unrated and I won't get because it's not that edition, and somewhere it doesn't bother me. This one doesn't bother me because when it comes to horror, it doesn't bother me because it doesn't change the story in The Devil's Rejects. I remember seeing this movie in theaters, and I fell in love with the movie back then. So not getting the unrated cut on Blu-ray with it sucks. Not getting it on 4K sucks. But it's not going to deter me from buying it personally. Now, some people may be different. Totally get it. I 100% get it. If that's all you saw was the unrated version and you've never seen the theatrical cut, that it may throw you off that some scenes are shorter or something. So I get that. But like I said, we don't get a choice. They pick. I think I read one of the reasons was they couldn't get the elements for the unrated version. I don't know how true that is. Here's the thing. I wish studios won't do this because they don't give a fuck. Boutiques sometimes will because boutiques need us. I'm trying to think of the word. You know, they need our affirmation, essentially. And I'll give you an example. Arrow Video. Back when they released Legend on Blu-ray, people asked, why no 4K? You know, why don't you do a 4K? They released a statement. I'll put it up here if I find it. It's a very old, like, Twitter post or something that they did. I don't know if I want to look for it, but they said the elements were messed up. They were just damaged beyond belief. And they did the best they could, and they did not think this would look good on the 4K format. They thought it would ruin it. They were honest and they were transparent. We don't get that a lot with a lot of companies. So the Devil's Rejects, I've read on forums that somebody said, I don't know how true this is, that they just couldn't find the elements. Same with Saw. So Saw 2, 3, and 4 just got announced on 4K, coming Amazon exclusive. Steelbooks. I have already pre-ordered Saw 2. I actually marathoned them last night. So I have not watched the Saw movies in a very long time. Very long time. I own 1, 2, and 3 on DVD. I never really got past the 3. After that, it's just torture porn. which I'm not really into. But I rewatched the first one. I remember seeing the first one in theaters, you guys. That was like, I will never forget that moment as long as I live. When old dude stands up off the floor at the end. When did that come out? 2004? I was like 17, 16, 17. Ooh, I remember my mouth just dropped when I saw that. I will never forget that theater experience. I actually realized I do not own the unrated versions of Saw 1 or 2 at all. I did order the Steelbook, though, of the first one on 4K. Since these are coming off Steelbooks, I found Saw 1 on Amazon for a cheaper pricing. I got it for 24 bucks. And I got that. So that'll be the first time I'm seeing the movie unrated. But I watched the second one last night. I have not seen the second one in a very long time. When did that come out? 2006? 5 or 6? So it's probably been 15, 20 years since I've seen that movie. So I'm getting the second one. The second one holds up to me. But I don't need to see that unrated, you guys. I'm good. I'm squeamish enough with some of that stuff. I'm like, oof, do I need to see an extra 30 seconds of her digging through the needles? Nah, I'm good. You know, Saw 3, I'm still on the fence if I'm going to get Saw 3. Because I rewatched it and I'm like, it goes really downhill for me. It goes really downhill for me. I do not like the story of Saw 3. And thankfully for me, I'm not a completionist. Thank God, because I really like the artwork on 4, though, but I've never seen 4. I'm doing a whole Saw marathon, or I'm going to see how far I can get, because I'm just not into the whole torture porn stuff, but those are coming just theatrical, and I know a lot of people have issues with that. The problem, here's my only beef with that, not giving us the unrated director's cut or anything on Blu-ray with the 4K. I think that's a mistake. I think studios don't understand us collectors when it comes to that. I really don't. I don't think some boutiques understand us as collectors. So let's move on to Kino and like raunchy comedies and stuff, or just in general. They put out Road Trip on 4K. I don't have it. I know a lot of people in my comments have asked if I'm going to get it. Probably not. Because when it comes to raunchy comedies, I want them unrated. Now, horror fans, I get. That's why I said I'm torn with some of this. I don't want to judge anybody or say good or bad because I feel like it's going to contradict something I say. Horror fans, I totally understand. You know, for me with horror, I'm good with the theatrical cut. I'm good. Horror fans are probably outraged for not getting the director the unrated, more bloody cuts. When it comes to raunchy comedies, I want the unrated version. I want the extended version. I returned Wedding Crashers on Blu-ray because I bought the wrong copy. I bought the rated R copy of Wedding Crashers. Not acceptable in my house. We want the uncorked edition. You know? We want the titties. We want all that stuff. We want the nudity. Horror fans want the blood. I want the titties. So I get you. I feel your pain, man. But here's the thing. I only own Road Trip. If I say Euro Trip and Road Trip, they're too similar in names. But I'm not really planning to get Road Trip. I have the DVD. It's been a minute since I've seen it. But if I get it, it will be an upgrade for me. But I would probably just watch the Blu-ray. Because I'm going to want to watch the unrated edition. I have another one up here that I'm like, I will not watch the regular version. This has nothing to do with Kino, but Get Hard with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell. I bought this twice because I upgraded. I had the DVD and I only watched the unrated edition. Bought the Blu-ray. It didn't say unrated on it. I'm watching it and I'm like, what the hell is this? Why are my favorite scenes missing? Because it wasn't the unrated one. So I understand if you saw something first, that's the way you want it. I get that. And that's what I'm saying. It's not a subject any of us will ever agree on. because we all have different tastes in movies and styles, and that is 100% okay. It's your collection. Do whatever you want to do, bro. Seriously. And chicks. I call chicks bros too. Um, for me, a big problem, and I've talked about this on the channel before, but a big problem for me was Kingdom of Heaven. They released a 4K director's cut only, when I prefer the theatrical cut. They didn't even give the theatrical cut any love or anything. They didn't do that. That was a big problem for me. So the whole point of this video is to just be like, look, we don't get to choose, you guys. I'll talk a little bit about Criterion. I'm not going to go too deep into it because I got a lot to say. So Criterion just announced Eyes Wide Shut. So Eyes Wide Shut just got announced from Criterion today. Don't get me started on the artwork. I'm going to make a whole video. Criterion's racking up points for worst art of the year. They're just keep giving us shit art, guys. Just keep doing it. I get the story. I'm not going to get into it right now. I get the story of why they chose this art. Doesn't matter to me. I don't like it. But this version, back to topic, Brian. Focus. They're only giving us the international cut, which I think is cool. You know, I've never seen the international cut, and apparently the international cut just has more nudity in it, more of the orgy scenes and stuff, but it doesn't take at all from the story. But I think it's not cool not to add the other version of it for people who probably like that version or don't like that stuff as much. I do love that they're staying true to it though. But the point of this video is we don't get a choice. We don't get a choice at all. You know, we'll have the Blu-ray with the US cut, and we'll have this with that. But I love when studios give us a choice, and it's a rarity. You know, Arrow tends to do that a lot. What's an example? Friday the 13th, 2009. They gave us the unrated cut. And no, I think a lot of their Friday the 13th movies that they've done, they've given us both like the unrated or director's cut in 4K and the theatrical in 4K on two separate discs. I like that, you know? Or they'll give us choices like international cut. But I think with Conan's, they had different cuts. And they give us the choice to pick. Not all studios do that. Look, studios are going to do whatever studios are going to do. I don't personally think they understand us as collectors. If they did, they would be a lot more transparent. And maybe the transparency comes from like YouTube forums. But here's the thing, and I'm not going to get into this whole thing, but this whole inside information shit coming out everywhere on YouTube and forums and blogs and all this stuff. Too many people are staying anonymous and not enough of it feels legit. So I don't think the transparency needs to come from insiders who want to stay anonymous. I feel like it needs to come from the studios. I just think more transparency of why don't you do this? Why aren't we getting the unrated version of Rob Zombie's Devil's Rejects or Saw 2? Saw 1 is unrated. Why isn't Saw 2 unrated? You know, and I saw a lot of people complain about this, which I think is a stupid complaint. But the Ninja Turtles. The Ninja Turtles, like the first one, Ninja Turtles 1 is being transferred from the 4K from the original camera negative. But 2 and 3 are just from the inner positives. Now some of y'all may be like, what the fuck's the difference? Those who know, the original camera negative is like the source you want. The inner positive is like a copy, you know? So a lot of people complained about that, but I'm like, we're getting it on 4K. It's a new restoration. Who cares where it came from? Maybe that's the best we have, but they're not telling us. Because there are lots of these questions as collectors. And a lot of us YouTubers are pointing it out, you know? A lot of us are crying and whining about a bunch of stuff, but I feel like studios are kind of giving us reason to cry and whine. A lot of it I don't understand, all the whining and crying. I think we're just a little too pretentious and on a pedestal with our physical media collections. But at the end of the day, I think being like, just be happy with what you got is not a good answer. Just be happy with what you're given. Which is a little contradictory because that's kind of where I started this video was, but at the same time, I'm like, I get it. If American Pie on 4K only came with the theatrical cut on 4K and not the unrated, oh, I'd be crying from the hilltops that there's a problem with that. But they gave us both editions, so I'm happy. Kino with Crybaby gave us a theatrical cut on, which they do this a lot. Kino especially does this a lot. They'll give us a theatrical cut on 4K and then the director's cut on Blu-ray. A lot of people complain about that. Not enough people complain about that, but it's a thing where we don't get to choose, you guys. That's kind of the whole point of this, is we don't get to decide. But at the same time, I feel like there should be more transparency between what the studios are releasing, why they're releasing stuff a certain way. I think it's also weird Lionsgate is putting... Christian said this, I think, in a video earlier today, which made a lot of sense. Christian from CHH was like, maybe, Saw and Devil's Rejects are way more mainstream films and not just Lionsgate Limited. Because you would think they would be Lionsgate Limited releases, right? But they're not. And would Lionsgate Limited put these out unrated? We don't know that. We don't. But all I'm trying to say, I guess, is it's your collection. If you're not happy with something on 4K, not coming in the format you want, well, guess what, you guys? Blu-ray is okay. DVD is okay. I watched both Saws 1 and 2 on my OLED last night on DVD, full frame DVD, by the way. No issues. No issues. Zero complaints. So the version you want is probably out there. Not for every movie, but they're out there. It just depends how picky you are about format. Me, yes, I do want a lot of things on 4K. Lately, I've been getting kind of like deterred from it, bro. Like 40-Year-Old Virgin I was nice in my 40-Year-Old Virgin review. Bro, that transfer is dull. It's dull. I didn't say that in my video, but it's dull. I've heard Billy Madison is about the same level, and I'm like, I got the Blu-ray. Do I need the 4K just to be like underwhelmed? Same with Happy Gilmore. I'm scared to get it. But that's another conversation for another day. What do you guys think? Are there and what are some movies I left out? What are some movies coming to 4K, but not the format you wanted it, or not the format, that's the wrong word, the version, the edition you wanted in? For me, Kingdom of Heaven, I want the theatrical cut on 4K. I'll never get it. It's okay. I like the director's cut. That's okay. Here's the thing. Payback. Mel Gibson, I'm going to end it right here. Payback. If Paramount Presents, or anybody who does it, Vinegar Syndrome does a lot with Paramount, if any of them do the 4K in just the director's cut and not the theatrical cut, I'm burning some fucking bridges down. I'm just saying. Just saying. So on that note, I'll catch y'all guys later.